Morning, everybody. It's stream day. Haven't been here in a while. Forgot what to do. My name's Bug. I'm in a band called Bug Hunter. I got a new flannel. My wife bought it for me. I like it a lot. Get used to it. I think it's sticking around. Same hat, new flannel, same guitar, same old Bug. Been 3 weeks. I've been traveling. I've been all around the West Coast. Not on tour, just a little personal trip. Puck not appreciating the new flannel. That's fine. You can't win over everybody. It is not yellow, pink, or green. It's blue. Puck appreciates it. It's just not different. You don't appreciate that it's different. It is different. It's different-ish. It's not the same. It's a different brand. So maybe that's something. Got it on sale. If you've never been to a Bug Hunter stream, we talk about my flannels. That's it. Who we got in the chat today? That's what we do. We take a roll call, huh? Flannel mechanics is a great idea, Knacker. Knacker is here with great ideas. Emily is here. Max Noble is here looking for some new flannels. Ugo is here. My dad is here, which means my mom is here. Katie Alfonsi is here. Caitlin is here. Primordial Spatula is here. My stuff is here. Cornfield Cryptid here. Noodle here. Benjamin Jackson is a woo. Eric says howdy. Puck is not here. Katie's here again. Ninja Turtles all the way down is, as ever, a very funny username. Jacob Ronster is brand new. Welcome, Ronster. Paul is somewhere. Not maybe here. Crystal is here. Time of Some has talking about my fancy popped collar. For whatever reason, I went to go get my new flannel and it was hanging up because I think it just happened to be in a load of laundry that Ladybug was doing, and she hung it up, but it was inside out and backwards buttoned, and I could not figure out for the life of me how to put it on. I put it on, I was like, nope, that's inside out, so I turned it inside out, and I put it on, I was like, no, it's still inside out. How did that happen? It was because it was inside out and buttoned the wrong way, like backwards around like the other side. Very confusing. Don't worry, everybody, I figured it out. Faxax Productions is here. Statue is here. Cool. Camden is here. Hasn't been to a stream in a while. You know what, Camden? Neither have I. So that's okay. It's been, I think, since middle to late January that I was on a stream. I've been traveling. I'll be happy to tell you where I've been, what I've been doing. But why don't we start with a song so that people who have never been here, Flannel Escape Rooms is very funny. For the people who haven't been here before and think that I just talk about my flannel, let me do a song. What do y'all want to hear? I haven't practiced or played anything in 3 weeks, so we'll see what happens. Fortunately, I did run through every song in my discography in early January in Seattle, so I'm at least as practiced and up to date as January 5th and 6th, but very little playing since then, so... We got no consensus yet. Key to Beige Lonely is very funny, Emily. We got a couple for Not Like That. Puck wants a Jam Mechanics song. You're gonna have to go to the Jam Mechanics live stream for that. Okay, I see 3 for this, so let me see if I remember how to play this. We have invented an invention. You know, duct tape, it's not like that. We have created a creation. You know, cupcakes, it's not like that. It's just a button, just a simple little button you can press. And when you press it, you'll be happy with no harmful side effects. Okay, our legal team's informed us we must warn you of the button side effects. You know that feeling when you had something to say and then forgot. This is not like that. You know that stress you get when you commit a crime and then get caught. This is not like that. It's just a button, just to help, a little button you can hit. When you're sad, it makes you happier for 4 to 7 hours, all depending on your blood type. Also, someone random on the planet dies. It probably won't be someone you know. You're gonna love this new thing, this happy feeling, machine side effects and strings attached. I want this, but not like that. We have revised a new revision. We got your feedback, you did not like that. We have modified the button now. Instead of someone dying, they will simply lose their balance as they're walking down the stairs. It's not your fault if they won't hold the rail. You're gonna love this new thing, this happy feeling, machine side effects and strings attached. I want this, but not like that. This is our final offer. Our engineers have done their best. They've made the button softer, so it's more comfortable to press. You'll get 1 hour of joy, but then the button will make a college student oversleep their last exam, and a small business owner lose an envelope of cash, and a puppy will be told he's a bad dog when he didn't do anything wrong. You're gonna love this new thing, this happy feeling, machine side effects and strings attached. I want this, but not like that. I wanna love this new thing. I'd kill for something to bring happiness without a catch. I want this, but not like that. Thanks, folks. Warming up. Appreciate y'all. That's the first song off of Happiness Without a Catch, our newest album that came out in September. It's a good album. Ronster says, I'm with Matt on this. Probably one of my favorite Bug Hunter songs. Yeah, it has quickly become one of my favorites as well. I feel like Not Like That is might just become just like the standard bearer show opener for a long time. Pre the rough draft, or kind of in that era when I would play shows around Seattle, my like standard opener was Yes or No, and then it moved to we tried to open with Disco in the Panic Room for a little bit because it kind of had this fun kind of like intro feel, but we didn't do that for very long, and then we didn't do live shows for a very long time due to COVID. So when we came back, Bigger Than Myself was out, and I really liked opening with Pine Cones. Pine Cones became kind of like, I'd open up like 70% of my shows with Pine Cones, and then sometimes I would open up with Making Up Words, sometimes I would open up with The Key to Being Lonely. Those are my three that normally I'd start my shows with those three songs in some order, with Pine Cones being normally the first one, but Not Like That is just feeling like it might be the new kind of like standard opener to a show. It's very fun. Simon heard it in Toronto last March, which means that Simon heard the very first performance of Not Like That in public ever. Yeah. So, I think I opened the London show with it. Speaking of the London show, Eric wants to know, do you have any updates on the recorded show in the UK? I sort of do. We have the footage. The footage is great. If you haven't seen, the Narcissist Cookbook has released their half of it, which is fantastic. If you are a fan of the Narcissist Cookbook and you want to see what one of our shows was like in London, it was such a good show. It was so fun. The Narcissist Cookbook has already put their half up. I've been traveling and doing things. I'm having a little bit of an issue on my end with getting my mixed audio to sync with the video. I think it's just like a sample rate issue that I just need to like dig into and fix. I don't think it's gonna be a problem because if the Narcissist Cookbook was able to get their mixed audio synced with their video, that means that I can too. I just need to like change a setting, and I've been traveling and doing other things, so. Okay, so this is what we do in the streams. I play a song and then I'm gonna chat for a little bit. So, let's do a cozy Q&A if people want to ask questions. I have a lot to talk about because I've been traveling for a bit. It'll probably be a very quick summary because there wasn't a lot of music stuff that happened, but I can tell you kind of what I was up to and what's going on in my world. So, Camden says, "Not Like That" was the happiness song at the Pittsburgh show I was at. Yeah, I did Not Like That quite a bit on that tour. I switched between Not Like That and 30 Plan, kind of back and forth on that tour. I might have done Alchemical Romance once, I might have done Platonic Best Friend once, or twice maybe. But yeah, I discovered very quickly, and this was before the album was out, that Not Like That and 30 Plan were both doing really well to like cold audiences. Cold meaning just hadn't heard it yet, not that they were like not nice. Eric says, "Been loving both you and Matt on Jam Mechanics." Thank you. We're 9 episodes into Jam Mechanics. It's a podcast that me and Matt do. We have episode 10, which will be the final like normal episode of season 1, coming out not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. And then we'll do kind of a little bit of a recap episode, kind of summing up the season, and then we'll figure out what season 2 looks like. So. Eric says, "Are there any plans for the Jam Mechanics season finale? We'll be sad when it's finished." Yeah, I think the season finale, episode 10 is not the finale. It's kind of a normal episode. But we're gonna do a song where we might try and like retrospect on all the things we wrote. I think we have plans to kind of. One thing I kind of wanted to do, I pitched to Matt. I don't know if we'll do it. We're gonna wait because we want people's feedback. We want to wait until all the episodes are out for people to send kind of their thoughts or questions or this or that about all of the episodes and the songs. So we'll kind of do like a mailbag episode. Plus, what I wanted to do is I wanted to show off. And I don't know if we'll do this. Like, don't hold me to it. But what I pitched to Matt is it'd be fun to kind of have a small segment where we show off one of our already like released established songs in the state that it was in after about like 3 hours of work, because I know that when I'm writing a song, as I'm writing it, it's maybe been 2 hours, it's been 3 hours, I've got kind of the core structure of it. I'll record like an iPhone demo of the song just to kind of like make sure it like stays in place. And so I have like recordings of like Dear McCracken and basically every song I have that existed kind of at the same spot that any Jam Mechanics demo that you've heard exists in, which is like 3 hours of work, just like a basic demo. And so I thought it'd be fun to kind of show off what are like actually released and popular and play at shows and have like millions of streams songs sounded like at that same point, to kind of give you a frame of reference. So I thought that'd be fun. Highlark asks, "Is there going to be a break between seasons?" Yeah, I think there'll be a small break. I think right now we're talking about wanting to do 2 10-episode seasons a year if we can manage that. It's all going to depend. At the end of the day, we're not beholden to anybody and anybody's schedule. We both like doing Jam Mechanics. It takes a lot of time, and we're hoping to keep building the support for it. Obviously, like, you can't just make a podcast and have it be like financially successful overnight, but we're off to a good start. And so I think we both want to cultivate it and keep growing it, but it might be like a 4 months on, 2 months off kind of schedule, unless we change our mind on that. So. Caitlin says, "I was super sick while listening to the last episode of Jam Mechanics, and I really thought the alpaca song was a fever dream." Yeah, I was so thrilled when Matt came back with the alpaca song. I was dying laughing. I think my audio had to be mostly cut through the live listen of that song, because everything that Matt said, I was literally crying laughing, because it was just so unhinged. How did Ladybug respond to the Alpaca song? I don't think she thought it was going to go in that direction, but she thought it was really. She thought the first half was very cute. She just kind of looked at me for the second half, like. Yeah. Anyways, let me scroll up. I think I missed some things. Emily's behind on jam mechanics. Yeah. Okay. Mostly, I think I've got everybody. Ronster says how much songs do you plan to recycle from jam mechanics? Yeah, I don't know. What is the what's the thing I said in the Discord last week? Everything I create exists in a state of nothingness and potential until it becomes something. I have been working on a rewrite of an old Surge of Confidence song for 3 years, and it's nothing, but then all of a sudden I will I'll finish that second verse, and then it'll pop, and it'll be in existence, and it'll be a thing. So thank you, Emily. Everything I write exists in a state of nothingness and potential until it magically becomes something. Yeah. So in terms of jam mechanics, that's how all of them exist right now. They are all in like a world of like, they don't stand up to my like scrutiny of like, oh yeah, let me just release this song and put it on Spotify. None of them do. Even if you like them a lot, I have very strict standards. For people who don't know my writing process, it involves spreadsheets and a lot of like scrutiny over every line. And the thing about jam mechanics is it is for the first time in my life putting songs out into the world that have not undergone that intense scrutiny that I normally partake in before releasing songs. And you could Surge of Confidence, I didn't have my spreadsheet system set up yet, if you've heard that album, but it was, at least I had time was on my side for those jam mechanics. Like I write 3 hours, and then we really just put them out in the world. So I sit by the phone, but I haven't heard both thighs, stomach size, and diameter, and I know that my knees for managers. That song? Yeah, I like that song too. I wrote that song around the same time that I wrote Dear McCracken. That's an old one, and I was so excited to finally have a use for Artists for Amateurs. So, dude, I sit by the phone too. Yeah. Lark wants to hear more like dissing on my listeners. Yeah, I think the fun thing about jam mechanics is that it I don't intentionally try and make my goal to make every song like super different. It just kind of tends to be that way. It kind of shakes out in that way. I feel like, yeah, if I wrote Dissin, which if you haven't heard jam mechanics, it's my diss track. Matt challenged me to write a diss track, a stone cold diss track, and I did. I wrote a really good one. But if like the next week he had wanted me to write, whatever song it was, I wouldn't be like, okay, well, I'm going to make a rap song again. It just in my head, like, obviously I want to mix it up. And I've been very, very pleased with not just mine, but also Matt's, just the variety of all of our songs. I have a song that's a diss track. I have a song about a bird. I have a song about foosball players that have all been trapped in the trapped souls of people trapped in a foosball game. One about the mayor of a city in Italy. Yeah. Ronster says Memories was so good. Yeah, Memories is probably one of my favorites that have come out, kind of as is. It's probably the closest to something that I would call a Bug Hunter song of anything I've done on Jam Mechanics. And yeah. And Season Your Beanie is the furthest from something that I would call a Bug Hunter song. What are y'all talking about? Time says you're in the studio right now. Super untrue. Nobody is in here with me. That Mix Kid said, my friend asked me who my favorite artist was, and I said Bug Hunter, and they said, who? Which is totally normal. That's a very normal reaction to saying Bug Hunter. Let's just say I made a new Bug Hunter fan. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, we're still growing. We're still doing our thing. This is great. Yeah, we're getting to the point where it's not impossible that someone hasn't heard of us. You know, normally you say like, oh, I like Bug Hunter. People say, I don't know them. But more and more, you know, you find people are finding, oh yeah, I actually do know Disco in the Panic Room, which is very cool. Yeah, cool. Why is everybody saying shimmy to the left? I scroll up for 1 second. I don't even remember how to play that song. Avery Antoinette says, can't believe the new music I found last week comes with a new podcast to listen to too. Yeah, that's our favorite thing about Jam Mechanics is just creating this like bigger well of just like this rabbit hole to get lost in when you either find Bug Hunter or the Narcissist Cookbook. And we love Jam Mechanics. We're like so proud of it as a product. Like we love doing it. We love seeing people's reactions to it. It's been all around such a good experience for us, and just lets me, after coming off the 3-year writing cycle of Happiness Without a Catch, where it's very exhausting to make an album and like, you know, perfect it, and just all of the work that goes into it. Every time I sit down and think about how much work it takes to make an album, I just think I never want to do that again. And I get over that in 3 years. But to have just jumped right into something where I can just like write music and just put it out in the world has been like the best thing for my soul. Because I kind of got a little sad after Happiness came out because everybody liked it so much, and I just got in this like, I'm never gonna write an album better than this one. It's like I was really proud of it, and I'm like, just the thought of like having to follow it up was very daunting. And so just like barely 2 months later, being able to just be like, hey, here you go, here's some songs, there's context around it, they're only 3-hour demos, but here's something, has just like, it's been such a release valve for me. So cool. Do you want me to play another song? I'll play another song. Infant Dentistry is not a song. You stop that. Gulf Coast Pebbles, Pine Cones Echoes, yes or no Pebbles, Take It Back. I don't normally do Take It Back on streams because it's a little too heavy. It's hard to play Take It Back and then be like, hey, so I went on a trip last week. I haven't played. Ooh, there's like a weird. There's a Pine Cones constituent, and there's a Baby Teeth constituent, and there's a Pebbles faction, and they're all fighting, and they all lived in peace until the Fire Nation attacked or something. I've never seen that show. I don't know how to play the rest of Dump Truck. It's not even my song. I just know the riff because Matt taught it to me on tour. Oh, coward. Fan fiction. Yeah, I would have to practice that one first. Dear McCracken. No one ever asked for Dear McCracken on a stream. That's really funny. I can't All right, we're going to a poll, or as YouTube tells me, engage with your audience. Let's do song, pine cones, pebbles, babby teeth. All right, start poll. Y'all get to vote. I'll let you do it for 5 seconds. Okay. This looks like it's running away. I don't know how to play this song. Uh-oh. Quick. Pinecone's making a comeback. Oh, shoot. I put on my capo. It's like, oh, no. Okay. Oh, God. Papa Fuck says, where's the poll? It's still changing. Oh, wait for 5 seconds where it doesn't change. How many votes do we have? 47 votes, 66 people watching. You could be the deciding vote here. All right, I'm gonna end it in 3, 2, 1. Okay. This song is called Baby Teeth. We'd wear our finest clothes and pack tight in tiny rows and sing songs that someone wrote to guide us towards the truth. When those words caught inside my mouth, I'd bite my tongue and spit them out, believing tasted great but was impossible to choose. Cause you're God, He waits on the gratitude lines, always at the worst times. When you finally shut your eyes, you're God. He waits with the keys on His side and passes the time, making up the strangest stories for your life. Your fears and hopes and stick those in envelopes and send it out with no address. It never will be read, but prayer's good when needing therapy. Focus, heal, and find priority. Don't pretend they have effect when buried in your head. Drum solo and I lost each belief like baby teeth. One by one I pulled them gradually. Most would come out looking clean, but all the rest would bleed. I could listen to the lessons, but my head won't let me hear it and believe. And I don't know what happens when we die, but that won't change the way I live my life. And I lost each belief like baby teeth. One by one I pulled them gradually. Most would come out looking clean, but all the rest would bleed. I could listen to the lessons, but my head won't let me hear it and believe. And I don't know what happens when we die. That won't change the way I live my life. And all I want before my time is up is a life that made a difference to someone. Thanks, everybody. That was a song called Youth Tooth. Appreciate you. Thank you. I mostly didn't mess that up. That's pretty good. It's pretty good for Baby Teeth. I may have sung the wrong line. No one ever knows. It's a mystery every time. It's Schrodinger's Baby Teeth every time I play that song. Primordial Spatula says, I haven't actually listened to the lyrics in that one. That's such an amazing song. And I love that. I love when people come to the live streams or to shows and hear songs that they maybe passed over in one form or another, just like listening on Spotify. But then when they're like sat down and like forced to kind of hear it, or hear it in a new context, or maybe just hear it acoustically, it changes for them. Because I know that happens to me when I go to concerts. Sometimes I'll walk out of a concert and have fallen in love with a song that I knew, but hearing it live gave me just like a new kind of appreciation for like the energy of it, or whatever it is. So want to do a little more cozy Q&A. I don't know what time it is at the moment, but I feel like okay, we got some time. Yeah, let's do a little more cozy Q&A. We got 65 people watching. That's a good amount. I should take 3-week breaks more often, because apparently it leads to increased viewers when you finally do come on the stream. Jams wants to know, do you have any shows coming up? It's a great question. Thank you, Jams. Yeah, I do have a show in Richmond, Virginia. It's kind of where I'm based right now. I have a show on March 22nd. It's a Friday night, and it is rapidly selling out. There are, I believe, less than half the tickets available after being on sale for about a week. It's going to be a small, intimate show, about 70 people. There's VIP tickets, of which there are only about 3 left, I believe. So, thanks, Jams. The format of the show is I'm going to be playing all of Happiness Without a Catch as one of the sets, and then the other set is going to be kind of a mishmash of kind of the more popular songs off of The Rough Draft, Torn Between a Couple, and Bigger Than Myself. So it'll be a 2-set show. I'm opening for myself, which I'm very excited for. I did a full discography playthrough in Seattle over 2 nights back in January, which went really well. But because I live in Richmond, I don't want to, I don't know, I feel like I can play more often here, so I didn't want to do like the full thing, because then if everybody in Richmond hears every song that I have, then they're not going to want to come see me again. My wife, Ladybug, came into the room while I was playing Baby Teeth, and she's quietly giggling behind my monitor. And I'm open to doing more discography shows in the future, but I'm waiting to see kind of what our tour schedule looks like this year. Where a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff is happening, so everybody says hi, Ladybug.
Oh, that's so sweet.
She says, "Oh, that's so sweet. Hi, everybody." Yeah. So speaking of, the reason I've been gone for the last 3 weeks, I've been traveling a bit. We went out to the West Coast, saw a bunch of family, saw a bunch of friends. We kind of hopped around every 3 days, different city, different state. A lot of rental cars, a lot of flights. Kaylin says, we loved the alpaca prompt, Ladybug. If anybody has listened to Jam Mechanics, they know that Ladybug was responsible for the alpaca prompt that spawned the fever dream that is the alpaca song. Jam says, that sounds deeply exhausting. It was deeply exhausting. I'm so glad to be home. It was a very fun time. Got to see a lot of loved ones. I did karaoke for the first time, which I think surprises a lot of people. And one of the things that I really thought was a very funny thing to say, when people would be like, oh, let's do karaoke. I'd be like, I've never done karaoke before. I would hate to do karaoke, which both of those are true. I had never done karaoke before because I don't like to sing. But we were in Idaho, and it was kind of a tradition with Ladybug's siblings to go do karaoke. So I went and did karaoke, just trying to be a good sport. And I sang Little Talks by Of Monster and Men, which was fun. And it's a very funny experience to be like, the last time I performed was in Seattle at the discography show, where there was 150 plus people, all very, very, very excited to hear a show and very enthusiastic and all that. And then the next time I performed was singing a Monsters and Men song in Idaho to a bar full of people who were like, okay, cool, next. So keeps my ego in check, which I think is a very good thing. Eric asks, isn't Little Talks a duet? Who is your duet partner? Yeah, I sang that one with Ladybug's sister. She sang the other parts. It was good. Buildman wants to know, where is Jam Mechanics? It's everywhere. It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts. It's on Google Podcasts and Amazon Podcasts. But I look at the stats and we get like 1 listen a month on both of those. So apparently, people don't use those very much. Most of it's Spotify, and a little bit of Apple Podcasts and a little bit of YouTube. So it's also, we have a website, jammechanics.com. If you want to just download them and you don't want to stream them, you can do that. They're pay what you want, so you can have them for free, as well as the songs. Yeah. What is it like to being a cool podcast millennial now? Great question. Yeah, my life has changed in a lot of ways. I think it's pretty normal. I think everybody who's ever thought that they were funny tries to have a podcast at some point, and so I'm going through that phase of my life right now. Luckily, I have Matt of the Narcissist Cookbook to bounce ideas off of, and I think that we came up with a really fun idea. I'm sure we did zero research. I'm sure that there is another podcast out there where people challenge each other to write songs and show them off, but this is our podcast. So anyways, yeah, I'm going through my middle-aged podcast crisis. Exactly. That got a laugh out of Ladybug. Eric wants to know, will you jump on the TikTok podcast trend of recording yourself on video and post the viral bites? We actually have recorded the video of every podcast that we've done. That exists just on my hard drive. It's a nightmare to edit because I only edit the audio and I don't edit it with the video. And so I would have to go back through and I totally understand now why podcasts like My Brother and Me, they record the video of their whole show and they only release like small segments. And it's because, me and Matt talk for about an hour and 10 minutes for every podcast, somewhere between hour and 10, hour and 15. And I edit it down to about 35 minutes. And so there's a lot of stuff that gets kind of cut out, not just like the kind of longer pauses or, meta talk where, we'll stop and be like, oh, hey, we need to mention this, and then I'll cut that kind of stuff out. But also, like, we've done whole segments and conversations that are like 7 or 8 minutes long, and I'll just cut the whole thing, just because we're trying to keep it down to an easy listen, and just kind of keep the best stuff. So I can't just take that audio and just the video magically like syncs to it. I would have to go through and re-edit the video to be similar to the audio. Eric says, is there video of Matt running at the camera in the beginning of the last episode? And yes, there absolutely is. Yeah, I did get one video once, and I put it on like YouTube Shorts, and as one person said, hey, this made me want to listen to your podcast. So yeah, it just takes a lot of time to do it. Cool. How about I play one more song, and then me and Ladybug are gonna go for a run. This one is a spooky song. It's about real estate. The old man next door says his house is haunted. He says a ghost keeps him awake. He's having a hard time, to be honest, since his darling passed away. But he fears that a phantom has finally found him, some nemesis that never quit holding a grudge. The old man tough love. I said, Robert, I'm so sorry. Your house ain't haunted. You're just not used to being alone. Robert, all the ships and creeks are just the signs of grief. Now you're living on your own. He says, no, 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 no. I've had some close calls with falling items. I'm ducking picture frames and dinner plates and all my daily meds. I can never find them. They're put in places that I never would have done. And the furniture shifts and it caused me a trip. I wake up with my pillow on my face every night. It sounds silly, but this house is trying to kill me. Will you come see? Just stay with me. Just stay with me one time. I said, Robert, I'm so sorry. Your house ain't haunted. You're just not used to being alone. Robert, all the shifts and creeks are just signs of grief. Now you're living on your own. But okay, I'll go. And I can't help but feel absurd because nothing that I've heard from the downstairs room is a paranormal origin. It's 4 a.m. This poor old man is just confused. But wait, I hear footsteps on the stairs. They're getting louder and louder above me. They're stomping. I pray it's just Robert until I hear him scream my name, neighbor guy. And I go running up the stairs, jumping 3 at a time. And I'm fully unprepared for the terrors I will find. I burst into the room and by the light of the moon, it's a ghost as real as both of me and you. But it wasn't the butler they sacked without cause, or that surly groundskeeper, or that mafia boss, or his old business partner they stabbed in the back, or the ghost of Christmas, future, present, or past. It wasn't the guy from the mishap at the zoo, or that other guy from the other mishap at the zoo. No, of all the spooky specters Robert wronged in his life, the ghost floating between us was his darling dead wife. And she said, Robert, I'm so sorry, didn't mean to scare you, I'm just not used to being alone. Robert, you see, that's a one-way street, and I can't find my way back home. Robert, I figured I'd just come get you. I thought a haunting might do the trick. Robert, I'm sorry, I thought it'd be easier. I don't remember you being this quick. The old house next door's got a sign out front now, a for sale sign tied to a post. So attention shoppers, you can make an offer on a 2-bed, 2-bath, and a ghost. Thank you, everybody. So sometimes when Ladybug is watching my streams, she will pantomime the song as I'm singing it, and that's what she was doing. That was making me laugh. The thing that made me laugh was when I said, Robert, I'm so sorry, your house ain't haunted. Her mime for haunted was to plug her nose as if it smelled bad, and that just made me laugh. So if you want to know why I couldn't take that song seriously, it was very funny. And somehow when I said a pillow on my face, I just see her raise a pillow above my monitors. I don't even know where she found that pillow. So anyways, there's a little behind the scenes. Yeah, apparently if your house is haunted, it means it is also stinky. I might hang around for a couple more minutes. And if you have any more questions for me, I will be happy to answer them. I do these streams every Sunday at noon Eastern and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. So I should be able to do that for the next little foreseeable future. Other things going on in my world. As I said, we have another episode of Jam Mechanics. The last like normal episode of season 1 is popping on. Will be so tomorrow's the 19th, so the 26th, February 26th, Monday. We do a live listen along in the Jam Mechanics Discord. Which you can find via the Bug Hunter Discord. So if you want to be up at that time and listen along live with me and Matt, yeah, you can come do that for that. So, what's Ladybug's favorite color? I believe it's blue. Is that right? Blue. First is blue, second is red. So yeah, I'm gonna try and be back to my regular schedule. I don't have any trips planned for the next little bit, so. Ronster, have I heard of Will Wood? I have heard of Will Wood. I haven't listened to any of their music, but I've definitely heard of them. Paul says, this is the Ladybug, if she likes red and blue, you gotta show her purple. Paul's very funny. Deep Blue Ink, how late am I? As late, almost as late as possible. I'm done with songs, but I was just wrapping up. But for anybody who doesn't know, Deep Blue Ink does the animations for the Bug Hunter songs. There's been 5. Is that right? Has there been 5 Deep Blue Ink animated videos? Be Glad I Love You, Toggle the Slingshot, Too Bad, Too Bad and a Ghost, Platonic Best Friend, and A Bedtime Story. So if you haven't seen any of those, you need to go watch them. And then also go subscribe to Deep Blue Ink's channel because they do a lot of animations for My Brother and Me, Drawfee, and more. And they're so funny. The thing that I love about Deep Blue Ink is that Deep Blue Ink could have been lazy. They so easily could have just been like, I'm going to animate these funny bits from these podcasts. But no, Deep Blue Ink was like, I'm going to make them funnier, and I'm going to put little details in the background and be very creative. And that's what drew me to Deep Blue Ink's animations to begin with. Was I recognized very quickly, it was like, they are holding their own with the comedy. In fact, Deep Blue Ink was on an episode of Drawfee because Deep Blue Ink is so funny. Go watch. Sometimes we stream together too. Sometimes we've been known to do Rocket League streams with Deep Blue Ink and I and the Narcissus Cookbook and Kyle, who is the drummer for Bug Hunter. So if you ever want to see us play Fall Guys or Rocket League every 3 months, you know where to go. Deep Blue Ink's Twitch. Did Ladybug summon Deep Blue Ink by saying her favorite color is blue? Maybe. Yeah, whenever anyone says the color blue, Deep Blue Ink has to show up. It's kind of like the say Beetlejuice 3 times, but it's just once, and it's just the color blue. Cool. I think that's where I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks everybody for coming, showing up huge to my return stream. We had a lot of people watching today, which always makes me happy. So I'll be back probably Wednesday night, and I'll play probably 2 or 3 more songs, and I'll chat about more things, and I'll keep doing that forever. One thing coming up that you might want to be prepared for is, it's been 2 years since I've done this, but this was an annual thing that I did starting in 2020, was the Bug Hunter March Madness. So I put all of the Bug Hunter songs in a bracket, and there's voting, and we find the best Bug Hunter song, and it's very fun. And this year will be the first year. I skipped it last year because I didn't really have any new songs. And so this year we have All Happiness Without a Catch entering the bracket. So it'll be 44 songs in the bracket, and so they'll be voting on our website. Join our Discord to hear more about it. It's very fun. I also incorporate YouTube streams into it. Like all of March is like March Madness themed, where I will be mostly playing songs that get eliminated from the bracket. So yeah, it's super fun. So that's coming up starting in March. Previous winners have been Dear McCracken, Disco in the Panic Room, Take It Back. I used to do it where I would take songs out as they won, so they couldn't just keep winning. But now everything's back. Everything's back in because we have a whole new album. So this will be, it's been 2 years since we've done it. We have a lot more fans now, so I think it's fair to open the voting back up to everybody. So if you want to keep tabs on that, keep coming to our YouTube streams, join our Discord, and listen to Jam Mechanics. We got 9 episodes. You can binge it right now. So if you want to just hear more Bug Hunter songs, it's like almost like an entire album worth of demos. They're not songs. Like I'll be honest. The premise is we work on them for 3 hours. But if you want to hear almost an entire album of Bug Hunter demos, you can right now by going and listening to Jam Mechanics. So, cool. Can the Jam Mechanics songs be included? Maybe Matt and I can do a smaller Jam Mechanics March Madness. We do try to not make Jam Mechanics a competitive podcast. We never want to facilitate the conversation around who won this week's episode. Was it Matt or was it Bug? We're both just kind of writing demos, and we don't want to create this air of hostility around doing better than the other one. I think both of us have different strengths and things that we like to do. So we probably won't do that now that I say it out loud. But yeah. Cool. I think that's gonna be it for me. No matter where you are in the world, no matter what time it is, goobers, go to bed.